Yay. Okay, y'all, I've never recorded a video yoga class before. So here we go. It's so fun. All right. So I'm so glad y'all are here. Thank you for spending part of your Saturday morning with me, or wherever you find this, whatever day or time it is. I always like to start my yoga with a clearing. So I like to get into the space, get into the headspace, because I think yoga, obviously it's about the physical practice, but really it's also about just the space we create, and it's a mentality. So I do something called a clearing, and a clearing is just getting whatever you need kind of out of your space. So that might be something positive. It might be something you're really excited about, but that's kind of keeping you from being present, or it might be something you're worried about. We obviously have a lot that our world is worried about right now. So if you have that on your mind, it's normal too. So I clear that, and then I invite in what I want. I invite in something different. So I haven't actually cleared yet today. So I'm going to do a real clearing, and then I'll kind of pause and give you 30 seconds to do it on your own. And since everyone's on mute, you can go ahead and say it out loud, or you can just say it in your head. So I'm going to take a couple of seconds to think of my clearing. Okay, I'm actually clearing excitement today because I feel like the beginning of the week was hard, but then the end of the week felt a little easier and better. And I feel like I'm in a really good mood, but I actually want to clear the super positive, just so I can be more grounded and focused here. So I'm inviting in kind of groundedness and focus. I'm going to dial my energy down just a little bit so I can be present with all of you. All right, so go ahead and take 30 seconds to do your own clearing. And it can be about your energy or about worries, whatever's on your mind. All right. So if you, we'll start in a seated position. We're going to focus on shoulders today because we've probably all been spending a lot more time on our screens lately. So we're probably doing this a lot. So I'm going to do a practice where we're kind of opening up our shoulders. So a strap, or I don't have a strap, but I have this swaddle blanket that Jackie never used. They're all just really pretty, but we were not into this. So this is it has a little give. It's a nice substitute. I've got some blocks and pillows or bolsters, some kind of prop to help you. We're going to start in an extended child's pose. So come to kind of the center of your mat or the back of your mat. Bring your big toes to touch. Sit up nice and tall first, and then reach on over. Start with a flat back, and then reach on over as far as you can. If you have a block and you want to put it under your head, since it's your first child's pose, do that. Or just lay your head down on the mat in front of you. And what you want to do here is just take a second to see where we're starting today. So where are you right now? How open do you feel? Or how tense do you feel? Do your shoulders feel open? Do they feel tight? Check in with your hips. How are they feeling? Ground your big toes into the ground. Maybe even take your right or left hand and push down onto your sacrum. Just take this time to really check in with yourself. Couple more seconds here. Maybe you can reach your fingers a little bit further, opening up your, oh my gosh, I just forgot the word. I was gonna say shoulder pits, that's so funny, armpits. Oh man, y'all, it's been a month. And then slowly move your hands back towards your body and come to a tabletop position. So have your hands underneath your shoulders, fingers spread nice and wide, and have your knees right underneath your hips. You want to come into a flat back position if possible. You can keep your toes onto the ground or you can tuck them, whatever feels better for you. We are going to start with thread the needle. So, oh, sorry, I'm looking at my sequence. Yeah, we're going to start with thread the needle. So bring your right hand to the center of your mat, left hand up to the sky, and you're going to reach it through. Reach, 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 and then bring it up again on an inhale. Exhale, bring it back through. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, bring it through. One more time. Inhale, bring it up, reach high. Exhale, bring it down. This time, plant your left shoulder onto the ground. Just for a little shoulder stretch to start. You can leave your right hand in front of you and a little bit to the right, or you can place it onto your back, onto your sacrum, that same area, and push down. Again, toes can be tucked here, or the tops of your feet can be on the ground. Nice place to just, I like to have my hand here so I can kind of push down with my right hand as I push up with my left shoulder. Feels like a nice stretch here. If you press the tops of your feet in, specifically your big toes into the ground, you'll feel your legs turning on, possibly. Even your back muscles here. Slowly come on up, and we'll switch sides. Okay. Bring your right hand to the center of your mat this time. Oh, sorry, bring your left hand to the center of your mat this time, and your right hand up. And then reach it through. Exhale, bring it back up. Inhale, bring it through. Exhale, bring it up. At this point, you may start to turn on your ujjayi breath, a more audible kind of oceanic breath, if you know what that is. And then one more. Inhale, bring it through. I think we did 4 or 5 on the other side, so we'll bring it through one more time. This time, plant your right shoulder onto the ground. As you bring your left shoulder your left palm either in front of you and to the left slightly or onto your back for the second set. You may want to try something different with your left hand this time. You may want to place your palm up just for a different feeling. No matter what you're doing, really, really root down in your knees and root down with your left hand, no matter where it is. And then press up with your right shoulder to get that kind of, that like push-pull. Inhale, slowly come on up. We're gonna do some seated neck stretches. So find a comfortable seat. If you want an extra foot stretch, if your feet are maybe feeling a little tired and sore, you can sit like this, or you can just sit flat. If you're sitting on your toes, they might start to feel sore after a couple of seconds, and you can come on down. So we'll just start with some neck releases, a little bit of neck traction. So reach your left arm out, place your right hand over your head and neck, reach up, and then reach on over to the right. I like this because it kind of looks like a little lightning bolt. Keep energetically reaching your left hand out and towards the left as you pull your right side down. It's a good thing I have my coffee sitting right next to me. I haven't had it yet. And then slowly use your right hand to bring your head up and switch sides. So leave your right hand out and put your left hand over your head. Reach up and extend, and then bring your head over to the left side. Reaching out energetically with your right hand with your right fingers. And then exhale, slowly bring your head and neck to center. Untuck your toes if they were tucked. And then we're just gonna warm up our shoulders by doing some reaches, like you're trying to crawl your way out of this pandemic. So just reach. The good thing about this is that you're doing shoulder rolls. So reach and then reach backwards. And roll your shoulders the other way. Maybe a couple more seconds, forward and backwards. Make this energetic here. All right. And then the last thing we'll do right here, we're gonna do a baby back bend. I'm gonna turn to the side so you can see me. Just a seated baby back bend, just to again check in and see where we are. You may have your fingers pointed towards you. You can also have them pointed back. It's whatever feels best for your body. And then just take the stretch here. Pull your hips forward as you reach up and back. You might feel an opening here, right here, like underneath your shoulders, top, like just right here. If you want to, you can extend your head back. One more inhale here. And then exhale, use your hands. I know it might seem silly, but use your hands to come on up. You don't want to do anything tweaky here. We're going to come to a down dog. This is going to be a more challenging practice, but we're going to not do quite as many vinyasas here. So if you feel called to do more vinyasas and more flows, go for it in between the different standing poses that we do. I just won't call for them as much. And if you're pregnant, then instead of vinyasas, what I would recommend is, we'll do it in a second, but I'd recommend this action. And if you do it really slowly and mindfully, it's just a really nice substitution for a vinyasa. So coming into down dog, plant your hands. You're going to take your hands onto your elbows to measure the distance that you want them to be. Then come to the back of your mat as you tuck your toes. Your toes can be, your feet can be hip width distance apart, or they can be further apart if that's more comfortable for you. I recommend taking your index finger and placing it so that it's parallel to the sides of your mat. And kind of see what feels comfortable here. If you'll notice, I've been practicing yoga for over a decade and my heels still don't touch the ground. That is not any indication of how good you are or how flexible you are. It just doesn't really matter. It's kind of just, where are you today? Check in with yourself today. We often think of down dog as like a lower body posture. We think about it in our leg, but it's actually really important to think about our upper body as well. So since we're focusing on shoulders today, I'm going to take a second to break it down. Bring your knuckles so that they're like really, really place some pressure into your knuckles here just to feel what that's like. Take your hips and pull them back. And then take your shoulders and roll them in so your elbows are facing out. Reach your head nice and long. And just sit here and see what this feels like. Maybe you've never taken the time to break down a down dog and just really be here. You can pedal out your dog if you want. This is your first down dog of the day. And then settle in. If you've lost that inward shoulder rotation, go ahead and do it now. And then take an inhale, slowly come up onto your tippy toes and slither over into plank pose. One nice long line. You're not going to come too low or too high. If you want to bring your knees down, that's a great modification. And hold here. Lift low belly in and up. Start to feel a little shake, a little sweat. This room in my house doesn't have AC, so it's gonna be interesting. And then inhale, come on back up to down dog. We'll do 4 more like that. So get ready. If at any time you need to bring your toes down, your knees down, go for it. So inhale, come up onto your tippy toes. Exhale into that plank pose. Set up strongly in your plank. Inhale, breathe in. Lift your hips up an inch. And exhale, bring your hips back and up. Take a breath. And exhale. Inhale, very, very slowly, slither forward again. Knees up or down here. Think about creating space in your neck. And then exhale, come on back up. I don't know if that was 3 or 4, but we're gonna do 2 more. Inhale slowly. Have you lost your breath? Are you still breathing? Inhale, lift belly in and up. And exhale to the back. Last one here. Inhale, come forward. The slower you do this, the better for your core. You might be shaking here. That's okay. Really turn on the core. 5, 4, 3, 2. Exhale, come back. And bring your knees down for just a mini child's pose, just to check in for a second. Come back to your breath if you've lost it. And then exhale, we're gonna do 90-90 lunges. So stay over there. I'm gonna turn to this side so you can see me. 90-90 lunges, you are bringing your right knee to the front, just like so. Take your hands on your hips and square them forward. Back toe can be tucked or it can be straight down. If you need a little more padding on your knee, feel free to roll your mat over. Or if you've got like a blanket or something, bring it over your knee. Woo. Take an inhale and bring your arms up to the sky. Scoop your hips forward. And then exhale, open up your arms to the right side. Inhale, bring it back up. And exhale, open. Inhale, bring it up. And exhale, open. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, open. Stay here for just a second, focusing on that opening up. One long line of energy between your arms. See if you can twist open a little more on each inhale and look over your right shoulder. Feel strength in your quads. I feel it right here. You may be feeling something in your quads and your glutes. And then exhale, reach your right hand down onto your lower back, or maybe, yeah, onto your lower back, or maybe onto your left side. That's kind of going to take you off balance as you bring your left arm up for a reverse lunge. Inhale, reach up and out. Exhale, twist forward, twist backwards a little bit more. Are you still breathing? Exhale, come back to center. And then come back to tabletop here. We're gonna do some fire hydrants right here, which is also a good option if you're pregnant. Always, instead of a vinyasa, some good core work. So bring your right arm out and your left leg up. You want your left leg to be in the same line as your body. Inhale, bring everything together, bring everything kind of in like a fire hydrant pose. Exhale out. Do it very, very slowly. Inhale in and exhale out. Feel those small bones in your hips kind of engaging in your muscles. Exhale out. Inhale in and exhale out. One more time, this time we're gonna hold it, inhale in. Exhale out and hold. Lift your left knee just a centimeter if you can. Think about activating your baby toe on your left side. And then exhale out, bring it down. And let's do the other side. Right hand in the center of your mat. Left hand is extended, right foot is extended. Turn it on. Take a breath in. And exhale, bring it out. I'm gonna move over just a little bit. Inhale in. And exhale out. Inhale in. Exhale out. Inhale in. I'm exaggerating the breath so you can really hear it. And exhale out. One last time. Inhale in. Exhale out. This time hold. Pick up that left hand, left elbow, as you pick up your right knee. And think about even your right foot. And then exhale, bring everything forward and back, and then back to center. And we'll do the other side. Whew. I'm already feeling some heat. I hope you are too. 90-90 lunges on the left side. So have your left ankle right below your left knee. Same thing with your right. Your right hip should be right on top of your knee. If you need to pad your right knee, go for it. Take an inhale in, reach up, reach high, and then exhale, open up. Inhale in here, maybe a baby back bend, exhale up. Inhale in, and exhale up. You can lift your left toes if you want a little more energy, a little more balance, challenge. Inhale in, exhale out. Inhale in, and exhale out. This time we'll hold. Root down in the bottom of your body. Feel your knees and your feet really supporting you here so that you can lift up and out into your upper body. Maybe look over your left shoulder. Exhale, bring your left hand down and your right arm up. If you want to have your hand on your sacrum, go for it. So you can kind of push your hips forward as you lift up and back. All right, bring that down. Plant your hands. And then we're actually going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So come to the long side of your mat here. And let's come on up and just take a breath before we do that. Take a little shake. See if your hips feel any different. Roll your shoulders out. Maybe if you've got some water, take a sip of water. All right. So coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Legs should be maybe like 4 feet apart or so. Toes are slightly pigeon-toed in. Blade edges of your feet are parallel with the edges of your mat, the long edges. Inhale, take a breath up, and then exhale, swan dive forward. Place your hands for this first one anywhere that feels comfortable. So that may be right in front of you. Relax your neck. You might want to bring some movement into your hips, kind of swinging back and forth, or you might find that just hanging out there feels really good. Bring at least one hand to the back of your neck. So you can do a little bit of neck traction, a little bit of pulling. Nothing too tight because we don't want to strain ourselves, but just pulling our neck up and down. So by up, I meant like out and then down. You can even use your fingers to give your neck a little massage, might feel really nice. And then exhale, bend your knees slightly as you come on up, very, very slowly and mindfully, one vertebrae at a time. We'll take it again. This time we're going to take it with our hands at our sacrum. So interlace your fingers at your sacrum. Tendency here for some people is to really like fling over and overextend. Don't do that. I would recommend actually keeping your hands together at your sacrum, unless you feel really, really open and flexible, and then go ahead and bring them over. So clasp your fingers together here if you can, and then reach your torso over as you come on down. Reach your neck forward, and then extend down. If you feel open here, if you feel like you can keep the integrity of the pose, keep your fingers clasped as you move your hands from your sacrum, then go for it. If not, you want to keep your hands there, and you'll get a really nice shoulder opening regardless of what position you take. So choose your own adventure. Just be mindful about it. Keep a slight bend in your knees. Maybe lift your toes here as you plant the pads of your foot down, your heel in. Exhale, slowly release no matter where your arms are. And then mindfully, we'll roll on up again. All right, from here, we're gonna go straight into a warrior two. So you're still on the long edge side of your mat. Bring your right foot, bring your right foot to bisect your back arch here. So again, legs are maybe like 4 feet apart, maybe a little wider, and then go ahead and sit down into that lunge. Your leg here can be at 90 degrees, or it might be a little higher. Just make sure that your right knee doesn't come in front of your right ankle. Exhale, bring your arms out. So just starting here to set up nice and strong and open as you sink down. You can look over your right middle finger. And then exhale, bring your arms in so that they're hugging your torso and your ribs, and we're gonna do bird wing. So these are really slight movements, but they're actually gonna feel, you might feel something kind of turn on in your pecs. So go ahead and hug everything in, and then exhale, bring it out. Inhale, come in, keep the bend in your right knee, and exhale out. Inhale in, exhale out. Hug everything into the center of your body. Inhale in. Keep arms in as you move your forearms out. One more breath here. Focus on planting the blade edge of your left foot down. And then exhale, let that go. Coming into warrior two again. And moving into extended side angle. So if you want to place your back knee down, go for it. Or you can stay lifted. Hug your right elbow onto your right quad. And then bring your left arm over into one long line of energy. Stay here, or you can take a variation. If half bind's in your practice, maybe full bind, bird of paradise, wherever you are today. I'm going to stay in extended side angle. Wherever you are, focus on opening your chest up and to the left. Separate your teeth here. Maybe wiggle your jaw around. And then coming back to warrior two, straightening your right leg. If you have a block, this might be a good place to use it, or some kind of prop. Reaching towards your right arm first as you kind of cock your hip back, your left hip back, and then bringing your right arm down and your left arm up into a triangle. The point here is not how low can you get your right arm to the ground, it's how long you can be and how open you can be. So I like to think of myself as like in between two panes of glass here, maybe in between two, like now those townhouses that are everywhere, so I'm like right in between them. See if you can lift your neck up so it's not kind of drooping. For an added challenge, you can lift your right arm up as well. Focus on your breath, focus on staying open. Focus on opening those little intercostal muscles right here across your chest, so keeping everything nice and open. Inhale back to warrior two. Exhale, switch feet for the other side. The other side will look just a little different. Same movements on the bottom. We're going to change the arms a little bit here. So setting up strong in your warrior two. Left heel bisects the right back arch, so make sure that you're set up well. This time we'll take goalpost arms. So make sure again that you're starting off strong, really rooting down into your feet to plant yourself. Keep your arms here, but don't let them droop. Like really, really focus on your arms here. So focus on turning on the muscles. On an inhale, turn them on even more. Reach back just a tiny bit. It's slight, you probably can't see on the video. Inhale, let it go just a bit. Inhale, activate again. And exhale, let go. Inhale, activate. You can even do spirit fingers if you want. And exhale, let it go. Activate again on an inhale. And you're going to hold. You might feel your whole arm, your whole hand kind of turning on. And then coming into extended side angle on the other side. So reach over, hug your left elbow onto your left upper thigh, your left thigh, and then bring your right arm over. I'm scooting my right foot in just a tad. Go ahead and take whatever variation you want. Maybe the same variation you took on the other side, maybe a different one. Wherever you are, stay open though. Focus on opening up to that right side. Coming back to warrior two, and then straightening up into triangle. So bending towards that left leg, and then reaching over into a triangle position. I didn't say this on the other side, but you can have your hand in front of you, you can have your hand behind you, you can have your hand on your leg, wherever feels comfortable. Again, the point here is to reach out and lengthen your body as you feel a strong foundation in your feet. For an added challenge, you can lift your left arm or keep it where it is. All right, exhale, let that go. We're gonna come into a dolphin pose. If you feel called to flow right now, go for it. Whew. So for dolphin pose, we're setting up our arms similarly to how we set them up before for down dog. So this is about the distance that you want. You can place your hands at your shoulders and then bring them down like this. This is one option for you. You can also bring your hands together. If you do that, make sure that your pinkies are both on the ground, okay? And that your hands aren't, it's kind of hard to see here, but that your hands aren't like this, like your hands are straight. So here you go, kind of making a triangle with your hands, an open triangle. Tuck your toes as you would for down dog. And then coming into dolphin, which essentially is down dog on your elbows. Release your head and neck. Nod your head yes. Shake your head no. And then sit back onto your heels. If dolphins you're saying you're really into it, you want to do some leg lifts, go for it. I'll cue you when you're halfway through so you can switch sides, but if you want to, you can bring your right foot up now. Make sure that you keep your hip down as you do that. Focus on not opening up in your hip. Wherever you are, plant down into your elbows as you scoop your torso towards your legs, kind of through your elbows. If your right leg is extended, bring it down and switch to your left leg. Again, focusing on keeping your hips level to the ground. Might feel a really nice shake here. Inhale one more time and really plant those elbows in as you bring your torso back towards your legs. And then exhale, coming on down to your knees. We'll take a cat-cow just to kind of recenter ourselves. So inhale, scoop your back down into a U. Exhale, come on up and arch your back. Inhale in. And exhale out. Inhale in. And exhale out. For this next vignette, we're going to use a strap or a scarf. So if you've got something like that and you want to use it, go ahead and grab it now. We're going to set up on the right side in a high lunge. So meet me there. So you want your legs to be essentially warrior one legs here with your right leg at 12 o'clock. Sorry, you want your legs to be at like a 10 o'clock. So right leg at 12 o'clock, left leg at 10 or 11 o'clock. If you're pregnant, I'd recommend that you open your stance up just a bit. And then come on onto your back foot, onto your back toes. Extend and really lengthen out your left leg. And then inhale, arms up. We're taking archer arms here, which is where I recommended that you grab something to help you. So since we have our right knee bent, we'll do this with our left arm. Oop. I said I'm going to do balance next week because clearly that's what I need to work on. So our next class is going to be on balance. So if you need to bring your back knee down, go for it, or you can stay lifted. So bring your left hand up here and your right arm to meet in the back. If you need help, this is where your strap or your scarf or your swaddle blanket is going to be really useful. Wherever you are, don't pull too tight. It should kind of feel like, it shouldn't take too much stress. It should feel not easy, but don't push yourself too much. We're already dealing with so much right now. Again, back knee down if you'd like for it to be. And then exhale, bring your strap down and come into a pyramid pose. We're going to come into extended pyramid. So bring your arms out in front of you into a flat back. We're not going to rush this part. So we're going to really stay here. because this is where the work is and keeping our torso up. You may want to kind of bring your left foot so it's more like an 11 o'clock, but for more comfort, keep it at that 10 o'clock. Reach forward and out. Extend your head and neck. Roll your elbows in. And now, coming down to pyramid, just for a breath, as we set up for revolved triangle. I'm not a fan of this pose, but that's probably why I need to do it. So if you have a block, you can put the block right underneath your left arm to bring the ground closer to you. I recommend also widening your stance a bit on the mat. So bringing your left hand down, you can have it. Also, if you're feeling really flexible, you can bring it to the outside of your right foot. And then reaching open onto your right side. If you see my hips, they've kind of reached over, they've kind of like opened up. So bring them back down. So lower body's planted down as upper body opens up to the right. You can do this pose even if you're pregnant. With twisting poses, you just want to make sure that you keep yourself open enough. On your next inhale, see if you can open up just a little bit more. So much so that if there were someone next to you, they could smell you. They could smell your armpit, but they're not. Plant down into your left hand. So really strong foundation here as you open up. And then exhale, bring it down. We're going to come through center. As we set up for the other side, bring your props with you. And then setting up for the other side. So high lunge on the other side, set up strong. Long line with your right foot this time. If your right foot has kind of come over, bring it back above your toes. And then setting up again, I'm going to grab my blanket so I can use it for archer arms. Coming on up into that high lunge, back knee down if you need it. This time, left hand comes to your, right hand comes to your back, left hand comes to meet it. I feel a little more open on this side, so I'm not going to use a strap. But go for it if you want to. Tendency here is to kind of arch your back. Bring your hips forward so that you don't do that. You want to protect your lower back here. If you've lost your breath, come back to it. Really, really root down. I know we're rooting down into our feet, but see if you can lift up just a little bit, like root down and then rise up, lift lower belly in and up. Exhale, let the arms go. Come into pyramid feet. This time you're going to be like at a 1 o'clock right here. Feet maybe come in just a little bit closer to each other as you lift up and then come on over. So let's not skip this part. Hips may have opened up to the right side. Bring them back down. I see a fly right in front of me. I'm trying to get out, but the window's closed. Might be feeling a little shake here. If you feel like you need to come down, go for it, but we're going to hold it 2 more breaths. Planting down on the right blade edge of your right leg here, your right foot, and then coming on down. Setting up here for revolved triangle, so grab your block again if you've got it. It can be on the inside of your left foot or on the outside, whatever's more comfortable for you. Inhale, root down. Exhale, open up into revolved triangle on the left side. This time, Your hips might have jarred open to the other side, so bring them back and forward. See if you can give a little wave. Maybe your knees are bent here. My knees are always bent in this pose. Maybe they're straight. Root down into your right arm, your right palm. As you lift your left fingers up to the sky, open up. And then exhale, bring that down. Come to the center of your mat. We're just going to take a forward straddle bend again. This time, since we're a little bit further into the class, you may want to bring your legs open just a tiny bit more. And then come on down onto your forearms and rest. Planing down as you move your hips back and forth. Maybe you're shaking your head left and right. Feeling your heart rate, maybe even hand on your heart for a second. And then exhale, plant your palms. Really slowly, super, super slowly, annoyingly slowly, bring your feet in. I do Padahastasana, which is, I don't know what it translates to, but it's essentially grabbing your big toes with your left fingers. So have your legs hip width distance apart, or maybe a tad bit wider, especially if you're pregnant. And then a little bend in your knees as you grab onto your big toes. Reach your neck out in front of you, and then reach up. Maybe rocking back onto your heels here. Pulling onto your toes for that nice arm stretch. You may feel it here in your shoulders, helping open up your shoulders and your upper back. And then exhale, let that go. Shake your head. We'll do Padahastasana, which is gorilla pose. So have your hands underneath your feet. You can have for this one, I like to have a nice deep bend in my knee so that I can really hug my torso onto my quads, onto my upper thighs. Release your neck. Maybe give the bottoms of your feet a little massage while you're here. It's a part of our body that tends to be ignored. Especially right now when we're all stuck at home, definitely no one is going out and getting pedicures. Your feet might feel a little neglected. If you feel like it, you can even try to straighten your knees just a tad for an extra added stretch. And then release that, let it go. And in the same way we walked our feet in, we're going to very mindfully and slowly come on up. So slow that you're like, oh, this is too slow. That's good. I wish I could see y'all. Okay. A friend of mine, I don't think my friend Annie's on, but my friend Annie said Tadasana was like, ta-da, like I did it, which I thought was so cute. So come into a Tadasana. Roll your shoulders back. We're going to come into Eagle here. Eagle and then Warrior 3. I'm going to come into a little bit of an angle so you can see me. Bring your legs so they're hip width distance apart. You can have your big toes to touch because we're going to sink into chair. Wrap your left arm underneath your right. You may have that second hook right here. You may not. Extend up in your torso and then sit down into your chair. Reach your butt back towards your heels. Bring your right leg up and then bring it over. If you have the second bind here at your ankle, that's great. If not, just leave your foot right by your ankle. Wherever you are today is really great and is perfect. Hug everything in. If arm variation doesn't suit you, you can do just like bare arms. Focus on one point in front of you, out and down, that's not moving. So for me, I'm looking at the flowers in the backyard, which makes me really happy. Sinking down, one more inch as you bring your elbows up. See if you can move your hands away from your body as you bring your elbows up. Shake, shake, shake. Keep your hands as they are, but release your feet. And then coming into a warrior three. So bending over, really challenging balance posture right here. If your hands feel good here, and by good, I don't necessarily mean like good, easy. I mean good, challenging, but not too much. Leave them. You can also have them at your heart center, or you can have them down. Or finally, you can do airplane arms in front of you. Wherever you are, see if you can stamp the wall behind you or wherever you are behind you with your right foot. Whoop. Bring your right hip down. And then exhale, bring that down, and then root to rise up. Whew. And we'll do the other side. All right, shake it out. Coming towards the end here. Find your chair pose. So big toes to touch. Sinking into your chair, setting up strong here. Scooping hips forward. And then reaching your butt down to your heels. This time, other hand on top. What did we do? I think, I don't know. Left foot out. Do the other side. So real. All right, so sitting down into your chair and then coming over for eagle. So bringing your left leg over and then wrapping on your right ankle, if you can reach it. Sinking down into your chair, hips forward. Elbows up and lifted as you bring your hands forward. Focus on one point in front of you that's not moving. I'm looking at some really awesome art that my friend Lynn bought me in Brooklyn like 12 years ago that I still have. Makes me really happy as well. Sinking down. And then exhale, let the feet go. Keep your hands as they are. As you come forward into a warrior three, it's okay if you see like I'm doing, I'm shaking and I'm coming out of it. Really makes sense that we're having trouble balancing right now. The world feels very off balance. You may have the same arm variation here in warrior three, or you may feel like doing something different. On this side, I'm going to keep my hands in eagle arms. Wherever you are, stand behind you with your left foot. So really activate your left foot and keep your left hip facing down. One point in front of you that's not moving. And exhale, slowly let go. Inhale, root, and then rise on up slowly. All right, coming into a standing back bend before we start to slow down. Whew. So a little bit of a standing camel. So legs can be hip width apart, maybe a little bit more. Hands at your sacrum, pointing down. Push them in as you hug your elbows into the center line of your body. Reach up and back. Pushing your hips forward as you bring your upper torso back. You may want to keep your head up, or you can have your head tilted back and look behind you. Focus on your breath here. It's easy to lose your breath. And then exhale, slowly come up. Whew. Moving towards the ground here. So coming into a down dog. Before we do some back bends, some slight back bends, I want to check in again and do our extended child's pose, because I said that we do that at the beginning. So come on here into your extended child's pose. Reach your arms forward. Your neck may feel more flexible now. You may be able to get it down to the ground comfortably. So check in here and see if this pose feels any different now after doing like an hour of really, really solid work, really good focused work on our bodies and on our shoulders specifically. Do you feel more open? Do your shoulders feel open and relaxed? How about your hips? And then bring your arms forward just a tad, setting up for down dog. Last down dog. So set up strongly. And then coming into plank, knees up or down, and then we're going to come all the way down to the ground. If you're pregnant, go ahead and do this on your side, on your back, or you can do this in tabletop position. So starting with just a baby cobra, so bringing your hands forward and in front of you. Elbows are going to be right underneath your shoulders. Tops of feet are going to be planted to the ground. So really feel your pelvis rooting into the ground. Reach up with your head and neck. Root down in your elbows, in the pads of your hands and your fingers. Exhale, bring that down. Inhale, bring hands to your chest level, this time for more of a cobra here. Hug your elbows into your body. If your shoulders have hunched towards your neck, create some space there by bringing your elbows in. And then exhale, slowly let that go. You might feel some nice movement here in your upper arms. We'll take one more of these. You can, if you liked either of those variations, you can go for it here. We're going to take up dog, which we haven't done yet in this practice. So if you're doing up dog, come on onto the tops of your feet, plant them down, plant toes, and lift everything up except for your hands are on the ground, but your entire leg is lifted, your knees come up. And then plant your knees back down, and then slowly come on down to the ground. Have your left cheek to the mat. You can windshield wiper your feet. That'll release your low back and your hips. Should feel really nice. All right, we're gonna set up for our ending poses here. We're gonna end in heart bench. So if you are gonna do heart bench with us instead of Shavasana, make sure that you have pillows or something with you that you can support yourself. But we're gonna do supine twist first. I want you, once you're down on the ground, to just kind of be there. So get everything close to you so that you can just go straight from supine twist to heart bench. So for supine twist, have your hands at shoulder level, up and out. Hug everything into your body. Give yourself a really, really nice squeeze. You did such good work. You came on a Saturday, you didn't have to, and you did this for yourself. You took this time for you. Bring your knees to your right side as you move your hips to your left. Gaze can be over your left shoulder. Take your right hand and push your left knee down. You might feel something opening up in your left hip here. Look over your left side. And then inhale, slowly and mindfully switch sides. So bringing your hips over to the right side as you bring your knees to the left. Gaze is over your right arm. You can use your left arm to bring your right knee down just a tad. And thank yourself for giving yourself this gift of time, this gift of love and care. Thank yourself for taking the time to honor yourself, the whole oxygen mask thing, taking care of yourself before you take care of others. And then setting up for our final pose here, which can be Shavasana. And if you're doing that, then go ahead and just take up a lot of space here. If you're not, if you want to do heart bench, the way that you're going to set that up, just since we're doing a lot of work on our shoulders, I wanted to just offer that as a final pose. So you're going to take your top block here to rest your head on. I'm going to take a block or a bolster here. And then if you'd like to, you can even place something underneath your knees. That might feel really nice as well. And then you'll take your final resting here. I'm going to put blocks underneath my knees as well, just to support me. Looks like this piece of furniture is supporting the other knee. So even if you feel like you have to rush off and do something, which you probably won't because it's Saturday and we're all at home, take at least 2 minutes here in this resting pose. Taking up a lot of space. Letting your breathing slow down, feeling your exhales lengthen with each breath. Feeling the earth support you and all these wonderful people practicing with you and supporting you. Something really special to be able to practice with friends all over the country. Take a deep inhale in. Longest exhale of the day. One more. Inhale in. And exhale out. If you're in heart bench, move your props out of the way. If you're in Shavasana, come on over onto your side. Either way, come on over to your side for a fetal position. Whatever your favorite side is, do that. It smells like a baby, even though I didn't really use it with Jackie. And then very, very slowly bring yourself up with your head being the last thing to go. So you can even give yourself the gift of using your right hand to prop your head up. Coming to a seat so we can close our practice, whatever seat you're most comfortable in. So rolling your neck back. Maybe doing a couple of neck releases here just to check in. Before we seal our practice, say something really kind and loving to yourself. I'm so grateful that you all showed up today to practice with me. It really means the world to me. I miss all of you and I love you. Namaste. Thank you.
Yeah.